What were holidays like for Antonio Gates when you were growing up as a young kid in Detroit?
I mean, well, it was, of course, they were fun. I come from a family of 7, and I was the oldest of 5, including my mom and dad. So we didn't have much. Christmas was not necessarily about just the presents and gifts at that time. It was about us being a family, being there for one another. The most enjoyable thing about Christmas is that, in my mind, is the fact that you get your family together and get a chance to experience, caring for one another. We didn't have the money to get a whole bunch of gifts. I was actually the oldest, so I had to make sacrifices at times, but it was great to see my younger, brothers and sisters with smiles on their face and, believe in Santa Claus. They just missed Santa Claus waking up in the morning. So all those things were just fun times for me, and, I'm appreciative to be in this situation where I can give back to these kids.
Something you've never taken for granted, then. What does it mean that you can give back to these kids who haven't had much, at least from a financial standpoint, growing up at such a young age?
One thing about me is that I don't know if people knew this or not, but I come from inner city, and we, like I said, we didn't have much. In some of these situations I can relate to. It wasn't the same, but it was a lot of similarities. And when you see kids in a position where you can help them, you can put smiles on their face, there's no better feeling than that. And I always felt like if you can give a kid a chance to dream big, whether or not you affect every single child, as long as you have an effect, or as long as you can affect one child, to me, that speaks volumes of what you've done. And no amount of money in the world can take the place of that attention, that love that you can give to that child.
7 years, I think, now of the Antonio Gates Shop with a Jock. So these are children that they can go ahead and great turnout from your Chargers teammates today. They can go ahead and have dinner and buy whatever they want now. You get the Raiders this week. What if somebody wants like a Raiders hat or a Raiders T-shirt? Are you gonna intervene there?
I mean, they still kids, and it's cool for kids to feel what they feel.
Yeah.
And to me, it's all about fun. It's all about enjoying this Christmas spirit. It's all about sharing a bond with these kids and connecting with these kids and letting them know that no matter what happens, believe in yourself. Keep dreaming. Keep your head up. Stay in school. Those are the values that we were taught and we had to overcome coming up as youngsters. So we try to implement that back into these young children.
I want to ask you about all the teammates that did show up today. I think you had like 38 new Chargers on this team. How close then is this locker room as you guys have grown together this season?
We built continuity over time, and I think some of the key things that Coach did with arrangements and things that he was able to do to help us continue to build that continuity, and you can kind of see it all coming together now. You've seen the way we were playing last week, and you get a chance to know a person, and not only are you playing for your teammates, and you're playing for a guy, a friend, if you will, and that's the way we feel. We have a close bond now. We're still building, and we're not where we want to be, but for the most part, we've grown, and that's the major part about it.
Last question I'm going to ask you: what does Raiders Week mean to Antonio Gates?
Man, it's competitive. No matter what the situation is, the whole year, we have to beat the Raiders, and that's how it always been. It's one of those rivalry games where no matter what the situation is, whether or not you're 11-2 or you're 13-1, the Raiders game mean the most, and that's how it's always been. And I don't think it's going to change no time soon.
Thanks, Antonio.